All right, hell yeah. Today's the day. We're going to get it on the water. We're going to get this on the trailer. Booyah. All right, hell yeah. We got it trailered up. And I dig how it looks. Like it looks small at times, and then it looks big, and then it looks small. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, hell yeah. All right, so here's our little pudding. Oh yeah, yeah. It feels real glassy. Oh my god, like that's what a boat should feel. All right, so I gotta settle down, but just even right now, this really shows that R1 has benefits over kayaking because you just have such a large, you just have more surface area. This thing is just water. And the cool thing is it's omnidirectional. That's the thing I noticed right away, and that has to be built into the design when you can just do that with the boat. And I think this will really shine because the R1 stroke is a paddle and a pry. It's a vector. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and that is a vector direction. Sure, it's going to be tippy, but hey, we got these edges, so it is almost exactly how I thought it was going to be. And I got a lot of stability. Whew. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's overly tippy. All right, hell yeah. No, it's really tippy. That's all right. Okay, the first thing is when I'm over here, I'm too low. I'm too low when I sit down. And so, for an R1 boat, if it is gonna edge, especially in this corner, I just have to be sitting at 20 inches. And so that's what this boat doesn't have right now, is any, stability past this point. Like this is just kind of neutral. but it is fairly stable. It's not stable right there. It feels like it's going to be, but nah, like, I think what I need is, yeah, it's just gonna tip over. All right, hell yeah. Oh, let's paddle it around. All right, so we got the first water in the boat, so let's get that water out. I think it is fast. It's just very awkward to sit in because of this. This is already at its extreme. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, if this literally just went to a flat surface, like where you were able to just rock her and then put it on like a huge planing surface, I think that, so I'm gonna try to experiment with that, especially with these, to see how much farther, you'd have to tip to engage those. And I gotta get cold. It's like, think this is real smart. Oh, hell yeah. And it's dry when you do that. So now it's totally dry. And let's try this. Let me get where both cameras can see. Yes, it's tippy, but it's smart. It still works. All right, hell yeah. All right, I really want to talk about this triple divide. But I don't have my other seat in. I should have a seat like right here, and I even should have front foot. You know, I don't have. I'm kind of just locked into one position. Now, I don't think I'll be able to do this. Let's see. If I was in the river. All right, yeah. Yeah. I would be. I would be more centered. Um, I guess what I noticed is that there's missing a flat spot. There's missing just that neutral right here because this should be all exposed. That's why I designed that. But I'm missing it kind of being even fast, just subtly. And so a lot of the fast dynamics do come just even from a contact with the water right there. You know what I mean? So I got to contact that in, and by the time I do, the boat's already pretty heavily lean. Yes, that definitely carves. It's the only thing that I'm missing is being up, sitting up at 15 inches. Um, even 18 inches off the water, and that's just what I'm not. I'm not 18 inches off the water when doing these moves. I think that's the trickiest thing with a boat like this, is to make this a lot higher. But those moves do work. I don't have any foot. I don't have any support on my feet, but this actually works pretty good, I think. All right, don't hit my head. Pretty shallow right here. Oh, I almost crushed the boat with the paddle. All right, if I do take this on a river, the only way I'm gonna reflip it, I'll probably have to drop the paddle. But I feel this. Because the boat wants to turn this way, I can edge that in and then paddle against it. And then that kind of neutralizes. So that is probably one of the best things from this session. and this makes sense that this bar is stable. Yes, there you go. If you want stability, you can have a, this. This is real smart now because this boat doesn't have any stability, but this is hugely stable, and it's like a J, so you can't go past it. And hell yeah, I want to see if this camera is on. I don't think it is. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. So, 30 minutes in. Oh, Bummer did. Yeah, so you just need that fifth stability. Like, if you do want to edge a boat like this, you literally have to have something out here that's more stable that can capture that stability. And I think it's actually pretty easy, especially with this. This shows you that this, just because the weight is over there, the weight can't overtop this position. So as a sponson, you know what I mean? Like having stuff like this on the side, where you can lay this edge in, but then not have it go any farther than you want it. So if I want to edge right here, hell yeah. But the second I go in like that, there's just no possible way. But that's tricky because it's difficult to paddle over anything out here. Because if you are sitting in a boat, you're basically sitting where you're paddling. And so that means that a boat that's flat across is going to be way more stable. And so that's why I almost have to go back to the drawing board with my NRS raft and see how much, how much of this do I want? Because if you get this dialed in and this feels comfortable, you have a knife, like I can come right to you and get that, very surgical. Like all of that's out of the water. It's just out of the water to the extreme. All right, hell yeah. I need to see if I can even pull myself in this boat. Let's do that. It is interesting how, So that's what I'm going to work on next. And I can even think about it right now, is what do I want to dig in? See, I have all this surface. I have all this surface right here. And so what I really want to focus on is where is this water line? I think the water line's real messed up. But then that's fine. I can just capture that right here. So let's try this one more time. That's pretty chill. Oh man, in this boat we have no length. We literally, I mean, this is literally the shortest water line, and it still feels pretty decent. It's not fast. All right, let's check the water line on this side. Oh, this is looking better than I thought, because right here I should be sitting on the thwart, and I just have I have no sit. I don't have my bench yet, and so hell yeah. So this would be the water line wherever this is, and that's actually looking, yeah, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, I feel like you should have almost a sponson surface back there. Where this, you do have a sponson. That's so interesting. How that back feels unstable with that triangle, but this feels more stable. And so, and this gives you huge opportunity to do stern moves from two different locations. You know, I mean, this is just kind of the cheat on the stern screw. Oh, where back here, this diamond shape, I guess it's better for when surfing. I'm not dizzy enough. But yeah, this corner is real tippy. Yeah, like right there, there's no sponson. And so the places where I need sponson would be for sure right here. Like big time right there. That's the most important place of the whole boat. And that's intriguing to me. That means you actually want to add more stability out here, more sponson. And I think right here, it's not going to be a big deal to paddle against. You know, I think we feel like we need to do this and come back here. But honestly, let's go to this side. You know, actually, it's probably better to actually have this hook out to the side instead of needing to get behind you. Like this feels natural, and it actually is a quicker pop. I don't know. I'm trying to talk it up. Now this well is taking in water, but I think not by much though. So I'm gonna sit back here to be like, hey, if you actually had this boat, but then you can go back here. And I don't know if it's just the watering, but yeah, the dynamics back here are a little bit rough. See if this. Yeah, this feels way faster. Trying to now. I'm gonna test whether the rocker. You know, we put here was supposed to be neutral, and if I shifted to here, I was supposed to be on this tipping surface. And I think we showed that. Let's get an empty boat. Ah, bummer, dude. Just put the water back in the boat. Yeah. But I do like how high and dry I can keep that bow. Yeah, but I have to be thinking about this. This boat feels effectively very short. You know, this is probably the shortest design that you theoretically would want. So it'd be fascinating to surf this. Um, okay, hell yeah, I'm gonna try to make S turns. This is so fascinating. What I think I'm learning right now in the moment is that I kind of want to design a boat from the cockpit out. And so design a cockpit exactly where I want my feet and all that. And then you have all these tipping positions, like how far can I lean and how much stability am I gaining? Where this boat is awful because, well, I think if you edged effectively, like hell yeah, if you go into a hole and I do this, I can edge the boat. You know what I mean? So that's kind of fascinating that I could edge the boat. But I think that right there has to be not a dynamic response. That's like loading a spring where like suspension is damped. So if you do this, you're not just going to get sprung the other direction. Um, and so that's where having a sponson, where you actually have this, uh, something that goes into the water, and you actually have a stable platform. Because it's so springy, it's basically like right an impending tip. Like right now, I'm right at the impending tip, and I can't go any farther than that. Where it was really fascinating because I was even talking about how having two points of contact is just so bomber stable, and so this just really shows how even if this was the side of the boat, like this is the sponson that you would want. Like I can't over tip this because of all that. Now you don't have a lot of weight sideways, but this is kind of fascinating. But this would be your edged boat over here. I can make it go over the top. This thing's rigid, so I don't really want to. But hell yeah. Alright, let's play around. Maybe get out. Some sharp eyes too. super interesting. Okay. And so this has no sponsons. It has no, I mean, I guess you could say this. Oh man. Yeah. So it feels like that location should have that flat, sponsoned out piece of foam. You know what I mean? That's identical to this, and it doesn't, and so that's really fascinating to me. But the second you put that in, then you have that stability back in place. And it doesn't have anything right here. And this is too tippy on both sides. It's almost, it's very difficult to balance straight vertical. Now, I should pay attention because I'm going to have my pedestal in here, and my feet probably could be out to the side right here. Fry the boat. See, we have all this to work with. And so what we're trying to add is, you know, this thing's out of the water completely. And so right here we have to have something that's out of the water. But the second you actually go to lean it in to right there, it's in the water. And it can be as simple as fleshing it out to this width. That would do wonders. And it would just be difficult to paddle over, you know what I mean? 3 inches away is about the limit that I would want that sponson, but I don't know. Okay, hell yeah, I think I'm done. I'm going to put, hopefully any of these cameras are working. We're going to try to do a creature craft. Oh, it's not creature craft. That's pretty good though. And this back portion, how this would be. Heck yeah. Oh, you can't see anything, so it is a creature craft. But if you have a self-riding boat and an R1, you're really never looking that direction. You're always looking kind of this way. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so this is worse. So this way is way better. Yeah, see, this almost doesn't want to tip back over. Same thing. You want that inflation all the way out to the side, so the second that you tip it, it's already, you know, gonna tip over. Because this, I can put as much downward pressure on this as I want, and it's just getting more stable. Where the other one, you're able to tip it past that point. Yep. So I'm getting kind of cold. That's all I'm gonna test on this. All right, we did it. And this thing has just no cockpit. And so The two things that I want to do, and I don't care about weight now. This thing could get 150 pounds. I could just care less. I just don't want it to saturate with water. But I do need to work on the sponsons, like sponson the hell out of this thing, and so it's actually stable. I mean, the only place that it's stable is on this front nose, and so I really want to see how you can make a boat stable all the way around, because we do have a basketball of a boat. Hell yeah! And let's flip it over so we can get kind of a view of the bottom. Yes, that's fairly stable. All right, hell yeah. So here's the bottom. And so that's too bulbous. You know, you have no flat section on the sides. And so we have no speed. And I don't know if I could tell the difference between this was the left side. Yeah, and so it's too much rocker probably on the side. You know, the stair step is great, but then if you do go put it down, it's so much different than my boat where, you know, or just basically all rafts where you put it down on a longer surface. And so that's kind of interesting. I'm fine with how short it is, because if you were at a surf wave, length isn't the issue. It's more just surfable surface. But then you have to have stability at some point. So really working on those sponsons. All right, hell yeah. All right, we're done. Thanks for joining me. Booyah.